There's so much data out there, with Copilot or with ChatGPT that's going to supplement what you already have. You can get buyer intent data as well. When I say tools, really what I mean is they can create emails, they could create LinkedIn messages, they can create their follow-up.
You shouldn't be dumping and jumping. Shouldn't be dumping and jumping. Kendra, welcome to the show.
Sunny, it's a pleasure to be back again. I always enjoy our conversations.
Thank you. Appreciate you and appreciate the work that you are doing in the channel, your impact. And I talk to a lot of partners, go to different conferences and communities, and you're doing some amazing work and you're doing it with a big smile.
Thank you. Yes. There's so much that's happening now that it's just such an exciting place to be.
Yeah. And there is just so much excitement, like how we're moving into this new era of AI, and the way we will think about teamwork, the way we will think about everything requires that reset moment that I call it. I was talking to you earlier that, okay, for being 50 now, I am experiencing that lot of reflection on my first 2 quarters of the first 50 years. And then I'm like, reset moment for me. And I think AI is challenging us to rethink everything,
Yes.
imagine. And I know you are very passionate about this. And one of your key objective is that I want my MSP partners and peers to be a lot more effective when it comes to ROI, right? Every CEO that I talk to, their desire is that how can I do more with less? How can I produce better ROI with my marketing dollars, with my overall revenue dollars to bring in new dollars, new logos from existing customers or new customers? So you talk about improving sales ROI by leveraging the new tools that we have access to, new thinking that we have access to, and increase productivity, increase conversion, and increase other things that we can impact where the ROI is better. So let's start there a little bit in terms of what do you mean by that?
Well, especially for MSPs, sales is a real challenge. And when they're trying to hire their first salesperson, or they've got a few salespeople on staff and they're not performing the way that they want, part of that is standardization of what they're doing. Like they may have a process, but it's not solid. They may have some assets that are for marketing, but they don't have tools for sales. And AI helps create that standardization where it didn't exist before. So MSPs who don't have a sales background or they've been struggling with sales now can use AI to create the tools that they need or even implement them in their CRM. Before we started, I was telling you that we're a HubSpot Gold Partner. And there's so many things that we can build into a platform now so that you don't have to remember it or remind a salesperson to do it. We're going to do these things and we created them through AI or we're analyzing them through AI.
That is so good. So now, can you be a little bit more specific when it comes to where does AI have the biggest opportunity to make an impact in the MSP sales process?
Absolutely. The number one place that salespeople fall down is prospecting. The second is in follow-up throughout the whole sales process. And the reason that happens is either they don't have time to do it or they're not very good at the messaging that they're using. And with AI, they can create tools that are specific to that prospect. And when I say tools, really what I mean is they can create emails, they could create LinkedIn messages, they can create their follow-up that they're going to use if they're following up throughout the sales process, say following up on a proposal, or If they're doing their prospecting, they can create their script, their LinkedIn outreach, their email, all of that using AI. First at the target market level, so we have something consistent across the whole target market. And then once they start doing research about an individual prospect, they can use AI to create all those tools for them before they go and make the call. And now we've taken away some of the fear. And for an owner, you've got consistency across your sales rep or team, all because AI created that for you. And it usually sounds better than what a stumbling salesperson might do.
Hmm. That is so good. So I'm breaking it down into two parts: prospecting and follow up, follow through. Those are the two pieces. I heard you say that that's where salespeople
Yep.
have the opportunity, and the way AI can help them in terms of prospecting is more research, right? So knowing a lot more about who they're going after in terms of their focus accounts or target list, and then emails and social posts to other pieces that they can create by using AI. And did I hear you? I mean, did I miss anything from what you just said?
Well, the one I didn't mention is you then can do the analysis of the activities to see where your conversion ratios are, and you can determine what is most effective. So you can start with the analysis around who your market is, and then based on that, what are the materials that we need for the salespeople to do their outreach? And then from there, now let's go back and analyze what worked and what didn't. Are we more effective at reaching them through LinkedIn, through email, through a phone call? Is it a combination? How many attempts does it take? Which of the emails work better? Which subject line works better? So AI can do all that analysis so you can really begin to fine tune what is working.
That is so amazing. So, what I heard you say is that you can kind of review and adjust
Mhm.
so that you can see what's working, what's
Yep.
not working, what are the data driven insights I'm able to get to drive action that makes better ROI decisions. Right. So, in terms of different campaigns, that from emails to social media to all the different campaigns that you are investing in, you can do some analysis on a regular basis to see what's working, what's not working, and what data insights can help me make better decisions so that I can scale what's working and I can adjust what's not working.
Exactly. And it goes all the way back to am I focused on the right target market or the right niche within it? Not just what am I doing to try and reach them? Because they could get all the way to the end of prospecting and we could analyze back over a quarter and we've still made no progress, even with all those adjustments. Now we really need to look and see, are we focused on the right target market? So there's just so much you can look at. And as it becomes fine tuned, that's where we begin to get the consistency that's missing for MSPs in their sales process.
Yeah, so true. And Kendra, one thing, I mean, you are a pro. You are the expert of the experts when it comes to creating content, creating context, knowing
Mhm.
the industry, knowing it really well, what works, what doesn't work. One thing that I see is that when some of the like some sales marketing teams, they use AI to kind of get their first cut, first draft.
Mhm.
Then some people are doing it well, some people are not doing it well in terms of creating authentic content.
Yep.
And the risk normally, if you don't use the AI in a proper way, the content that you share, your AI will start showing if you are not intentional about putting
Yes.
some thinking into that. So, what are your thoughts on how sales teams, how marketing teams can leverage the tool so they are AI powered team, but they are able to also put authentic content out there?
So great question, because I'm in the process of writing my third book, Sunny. I hadn't shared that with you. And I just finished the chapter on messaging and the chapter on branding.
Yeah.
And perfect timing. So with AI, if you want it to sound human, it's about bringing the branding from your company in. So what's your voice? How do you talk with people? What's important? As well as blending in the voice of the salesperson. And it's training AI. It's teaching AI, this is how I want to talk. This is how our prospects want to hear from us. Here's who we are targeting. And the more that you can guide it in what you want it to sound like and talk about, the more authentic it's going to sound as coming from you and your company. So it's all around telling it, I am a sales expert who is consultative and is a thought leader and doesn't want to sound salesy. So now it knows I'm a salesperson, but I want to be consultative. Don't use all that sales language. And then you can say, use a professional but lighthearted tone. That's what I like to do because I joke a lot. Or just use a professional tone. Now we've given it that framing of who am I and what do I want to sound like? And then the last thing I would say is if it's for LinkedIn, it's usually pretty good at giving you something short. But if you tell it it's for email, it's going to give you some long amount. So you have to tell it how long you want it to be. Keep it brief, keep it, don't only 2 paragraphs, but tell it what to do.
Yeah. So giving a little bit more context, right? Giving a little bit more,
Yep.
call it prompt, call it context, that you should be able to use these tools with the voice that you can train these tools. Do you have any tools available for MSPs where they can learn how to be themselves, how to be authentic when they're using these tools?
Absolutely. So on our website, in our resources section, we have 3 different cheat sheets for prompts on lead nurturing, prospecting, and LinkedIn messages. And if you're a HubSpot, there's HubSpot as well. And they give examples of prompts. Also, in our Coffee with Kendra webinars, that's been the topic all this year is AI in sales and your CRM on how do you be more effective. So that's another thing to look at in our resources section. So I would encourage people go, because we're talking about prospecting and follow-up here.
Yeah.
Go to our resources section and download the AI prompt guide for lead nurturing. It'll give you all sorts of tools and techniques that you can use.
Yeah, that is no, that will be great, because if we can share that from Coffee with Kendra, I think that probably have a lot of already the wisdom, the gold research that you have done, what you have adopted to yeah. So we will drop that link, that resource in this podcast, so people have access to templates and tools that are practical and they can be used on day one. And one more question I have, and actually there are like two pieces to this. One is relationships, right? Because sometimes we do forget that people who are buying, people who are we doing business with, they're people. And there is the trust factor, the relationship factor. You call, when people want to do business with people that they trust, they have the relationship. So, what's your view on how teams can still do a great job at relationship while using these tools? Because there is that risk of people where they become more robotics and they lose the human side of things. So, what's your take on that?
Use AI to be more efficient in your communications and in the analysis of your process, right? So the communications as well as the process itself. We already talked about voice, tone, that will help you seem more human. Where the reps are so important is in building that relationship. So the conversations that you're having, the reviews of proposals, the follow-up that you're doing, that's meetings, the business reviews, that's where the sales rep now can spend their time. And AI is making it easier for them to spend time with more people
Mhm.
because it's making them more efficient in the administrative activities that are behind it and analyzing what will work best. So focus on those relationships, the account management, the prospecting conversations, the sales process discussions, all of those are where that relationship comes. And when you're using AI in your LinkedIn messages or your emails, even your scripts, it's reinforcing that trust factor that you're building in the relationship.
Yes. And are you using any tools to research? Because I see that so relationships are normally built when you communicate in a way that connects with people. And the way to connect with people is to know about people. And the
Yes.
tools people are using to research people, they will have a sales meeting with, or they have an account management meeting with. They do a little bit of research before they showing up for that meeting. What do you recommend as a tool, or what do you, yeah, any tool that can help them?
Yeah, for business intelligence, we use seamless.ai, and it's integrated with HubSpot. So it makes it really easy to share and then do analysis. Another tool, of course, that many people use is Zoom Info, and that has business intelligence as well. The power is when you're integrating them with your CRM and you can start to do analysis based on what's working within the clients and the prospects that you're already talking to compared to who it is that you are evaluating.
Got it. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
One thing that we use internally is something called Perplexity,
Hmm.
where, like, if we going for a QBR, we're going for any new business meeting, just to research that company, the person that we will have meeting with. We use something called Perplexity, which is
Hmm.
research, just to kind of sharing
Absolutely.
tools
You,
that.
you know, there's so much data out there
Yeah,
that you want to select a tool that's going to supplement what you already have.
yeah,
And then there's the research that you can do, with Copilot or with ChatGPT, or if it's built into your CRM, like it's built into HubSpot, you can get buyer intent data as well. But it's having all of that together and the power of AI that helps you to do the analysis.
yeah, 100%. And I think a key point that you made there, Kendra, is if the tool has the potential to integrate or is integrated, so seamless that you shared, HubSpot.
Right.
So then
Hmm.
tools talk to each other. They kind of really create a lot more efficiency versus tool where they don't talk to each other, right? So that's a
Exactly.
point. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
My last question there was in terms of, so we talked about relationships, but then you also talk about there are ways that AI tools that teams or MSP teams can use. They can drive more predictable and repeatable sales outcomes. So from conversion analysis
Mhm.
to like how they are thinking about probably their pipeline, bring more
Mhm.
people to the pipeline, focus
Mhm.
on converting. Do you have any recommendation there? What MSPs can do to be more successful with predictable sales?
So that is where you have to be tracking activities, you have to be entering opportunities and moving them through the pipeline because that's the foundation data that you want. And then it's either analyzing it within your CRM if it has the power to do that, or extracting it into something like a chat GPT and asking it to do the analysis for you. But again, we look at the CRM as the place it's already got all the data. So if it can do the analysis for you, and you can go to the step of creating the dashboards where it's analyzing it, and then now it's giving you the data. So now you can analyze that data with the AI. But the more you can do in your CRM, I think the better it is. And it helps the reps see why it is so critical that they are using the CRM. We've got to get past this old mindset that reps said, I don't want to use my CRM, and owners said that's okay, because it's not okay anymore, because
Yeah,
all that data now is being used for everything from creating marketing content to sales content to analyzing what do we have to shift. Is our target market working? Is our pricing working? When are we falling out in the sales process? So it's no longer acceptable to allow reps not to input it, and you have to be using it.
100%. Otherwise, I mean, you said this beautifully there, that if you don't have data, you're shooting in dark, right?
Mhm.
Basically, like if a sales, you allow that behavior to happen, and you are not going to be able to uh, get insights from data trends. And now tools have the power to give you direction. If you
Yes.
are, but the direction will be as good as your data. And if
Mhm.
sales members are being religious about entering the data with accuracy, then accurate input will ensure accurate output, and
Mhm.
that is so important. Now, we always talk about what to do, but then I always think what not to do. And so, last question for you is, there is just so much buzz out there with AI. A lot of people are like, hey, I'm going to use AI. I've done 15 masterminds, Kendra, in 15 different cities. And on my 50th birthday, I'm doing total 50, so 35 more left. But I had to pause a little bit before build it, which is at 4 weeks, because all hands
Yep.
on deck now with our conference, which is going to be amazing in August, first week. Now, the question that I get from MSPs where they come together during masterminds roundtable is what not to do. So, what's your perspective on what not to do when it comes to AI?
It's very easy to get caught up in all the things that you could do. And we've been focused on sales. I'm going to talk a moment about marketing.
Mhm.
Um, my recommendation is that you look at where are you strong, and that's where you focus.
Hmm.
And just like always, just like an MSP would tell their client, those things that you're not strong at, you shouldn't be doing. So, should you be creating your own articles and your own content because you can? If you've got AI and it's all automated to set it up based on conversations that you're having with clients or other data that you have, which is how we can do it in HubSpot, then great. But are you the one that wants to be doing it and making sure that your marketing person is doing it right? I would be really careful about where you're spending your time and what's giving you the biggest result. I would rather see you spending your time analyzing your pipeline and making sure that your sales team is consistent and standardized than see you be the one out there writing the articles on the marketing side. So you have to have somebody else who might be doing that for you, whether you've outsourced it or you've got somebody in house. But I don't want to see any owner doing that. They have to review to make sure it's on track, but just be careful what you pick. Just because AI can do it for you doesn't mean that's where you should spend your attention.
Yeah, yeah, no, that is so good because a lot of owners, I'm one of them, MSP owners. What mistake that we make is because we can, we should.
Exactly.
No one can do this the way we can do it. So, like, it is
Yep.
a lot of technical background entrepreneurs, and it's very
Mhm.
solution driven. That okay, let me just get the solution done. And but my coach, who will come to our conference, Dan Sullivan from Strategic Coach, he will say who not how. And who not how is that for entrepreneurs, you should be more of
Mhm.
good at finding who can do it better than you, so that you don't need to
Yes.
worry about it, and you should put
Mhm.
your energy into entrepreneurial stuff, which no one else going to wake up and do. Get up and focus on that. So find right who's in marketing and sales, and then trust them
Yes.
to do the job. But of course, brand matters, brand consistency matter, and that's where you're going to put some structure there. And sometimes there are situations where you have to work as a team member to get the stuff going. It could be a 30-day sprint or something. If you, let's say, hire a sales marketing, like another mistake, common mistake, you hire a company or hire a person for full time in house, but you don't block time,
Exit.
right?
Exactly. You leave because you abdicate to them thinking, oh, they're going to make it perfect.
Yeah, but it doesn't
And
work.
they still need your leadership.
Yes. And in the beginning, like knowing, right? So what my brand is, who I want to be, what is important to me, what's my vision, what's like sharing that and really making sure that team members who are you're surrounding yourself with those expertise and being able to really onboard them properly, be part of the training, coaching in the beginning in a way that they get it, so that you don't have to spend too much time for long term, and you shouldn't be dumping and jumping and jumping
Jumping and jumping.
shouldn't be dumping and jumping. You shouldn't be just okay. Here you go, and I'm going to the next big thing. But you should be taking time where the delegation best practices are followed to make sure that you delegate properly to any team member around you. So that's really amazing. So now, anything else that I did not ask you, but you want to share that with our audience?
I would leave you with a parting thought on what you should be doing immediately if you're not. The consistency of sales is critical.
Mhm.
And if you're doing it, you're possibly consistent. But if you're not and you've got a sales team, you want to make sure that they're being consistent from their playbooks to their process to their emails. So step one there, I would say, is make sure that their follow-up emails are consistent and use AI to create the foundation templates for all of those and get them in your CRM so they're easy to access. If you've already done that, then the next thing I would say for those of you who are ahead is upload your pipeline and have AI analyze it for you and tell you what it sees. You can ask it that broadly and see what it tells you. And then pick something to start working on, because sales is where you need to focus for your ROI right now.
Okay, that is beautiful. So how people can take this thinking that we just conversation that we have had, our experiences and thinking that Kendra, you shared with us, three easy steps that they can take. One, be consistent, right? So it's all about consistency. Sales consistency is important from all aspects of sales playbook. And then upload your pipeline, and then let AI do some analysis and give you some.
Tell you its thought.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then third is pick something to start with. So take action.
Take action. Exactly. And if you're stuck, call us and let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
We'll see, what do you need to do? And we can help. If we can help, we'll help.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kendra, for coming to my show and investing your time to impact this beautiful, beautiful MSP community, because it's like a village. It's like a community where there's so many amazing human beings in the MSP space, and your impact is huge. It just, you're doing great work, and I appreciate you taking the time to share your wisdom, your experience with our MSP community, so that we are all better together and we grow together.
Thank you for having me, Sunny. I agree. It's a phenomenal community to be part of. It's a family.
It's a family. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching Sunny's Silver Linings. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.